Hi, welcome back to my channel. The Razzie Awards were a few weeks ago. If you're unfamiliar, the Razzies are an award show meant to serve as sort of the opposite of the Oscars and honor the worst in film of any given year. There are awards like Worst Actor in a Leading Role, Worst Picture, you get the vibe. They mostly go after popular movies rather than the genuinely bad ones. He's All That wasn't nominated for anything at the Razzies, and that movie is not all that. I'll say it.
Can I help you with something?
I'm Paget. We were in Senora Parker's Spanish class together, remember?
Yeah, guess so.
Hola!
Hi.
Good times.
It was definitely worse than just about everything else that was nominated, but they have a good excuse. If you're on the committee that votes on nominees and award winners, you don't actually have to watch any of the movies. So how accurate could they really be? The whole thing feels very CinemaSins, if that gives you any context. I'm not saying you can't criticize or make fun of things. Obviously. This channel would look dramatically different if that was the case, as would a lot of what I watch from a myriad of other creators. I'm just saying, if you're gonna claim something is the worst movie of the year, maybe you should have to watch that movie first. They named LeBron James the worst actor of the year, and I have not seen the movie, so I don't know how he did. But was anyone going into Space Jam: A New Legacy to see the nuances that LeBron James would bring to playing LeBron James? The most nominated film at this year's Razzies was Diana the Musical, the filmed version of the Broadway show of the same name. Some of you may have clocked the sweater, the jumper, as Diana would have called it. I thought it was a fun touch, as was getting the rest of the outfit. Diana the Musical won the Razzies for Worst Picture, Worst Actress, Worst Supporting Actress, Worst Screenplay, and Worst Director. I think it's a little unfair to compare a stage actor's filmed performance to a film actor's filmed performance, and more broadly to compare a thing that was meant to be seen on a stage and with an audience to a thing that was meant to be a movie, and then point at the first one and go, that's not a very good movie, now is it? I'm a theater person, so obviously I'm going to defend the musical more than most. And if anyone's gonna make fun of it, it's gonna be me. Huge disclaimer, like I said 2 seconds ago, I'm a theater person, I'm an actor and a singer, and we'll say a mover unless it's a tap call, but it's been a minute. I have a lot of opinions about theater because anyone who wants to make good work in any creative field needs to have a lot of opinions about that field. See, that's an opinion right there. Opinions on everything from what songs do you like to sing, to why do we make art, to is Cats good? Referring to the stage musical, I'm gonna say yes, but there are some caveats. I don't have time to get into it right now. I'm pretty open about my opinions on art, mostly because I can't ever seem to shut the fuck up. But just in case this video ever crosses the eyes of any of the creatives, or the cast, or the producers of Diana, I just want to say, 1, I actually got to see it at the Longacre Theater during one of its 32 performances, and I think it is much better as a piece of live theater than as a film. Number 2, I think there's a good musical hidden under what actually got put out into the world, and some of that good stuff isn't even hidden. And number 3, please don't blacklist me. See, that's a joke. I'm gonna tell some jokes here about the show and about myself and about the real life people who are characters in the show. It's gonna be a good time. Please don't blacklist me. I'll start with the good stuff that I mentioned exists. For one, the costumes and costume changes in this are fantastic. Diana wears so many of her iconic fits, and the fashion overall is incredible. There was one time I could tell an on-stage costume change was gonna happen, but other than that, it's magical. And they said there's no Velcro involved in any of it, so that's crazy. Also, the ensemble is working their little crumpets off. I don't know how you're a swing in this show, because it seems like every single cast member is either on stage or doing a costume change to be on stage. So to know multiple tracks of that and keep it all straight, plaudits. The Tony nominations are coming out next month, and if there was an award for Best Ensemble, which there should be, Diana would definitely be getting one. It could very easily get a costume design nomination, and maybe more, I don't know. Some of the shows that are going to be nominated haven't even come out yet, so there are other good things too, and I'll hit them as they come. But this video is going to be very long, and I want to say everything that I have to say. So without further ado, hold on. I realized I never said this is about Princess Diana of Wales. I know most people got that at this point, but I just wanted to say out loud, she's the Diana I've been referring to. Okay, we can get back to we start on Hillary Clinton. No, sorry, we start on the titular Diana, and I have to confess something very dumb. When I first saw this at the Longacre Theatre, I did not realize they'd be singing with British accents.
Flashbulbs fill the air.
I know, what a stupid thing to think. In my defense, all British pop stars sing with an American accent. But I know this isn't British pop. This is the theater. The rules are different. Anyway, that was my literal first thought the first time I saw this. We start with Diana singing to the audience about how she's only 19, but her mind is older, and she's been thrust into this life in the spotlight, and how she feels she's
Underestimated.
She's involved with Prince Charles at this point, and it's clearly early on in that relationship as Diana is just being introduced to Camilla, Charles' best friend and lover of presumably many years despite being married herself. Then we flash back, but they don't tell us it's a flashback, and Prince Charles and the Queen are talking about how Charles needs to find a wife.
Well, there is one possibility. The youngest Spencer daughter, Lady Diana.
Lovely as an English pearl.
Seemingly the perfect girl.
Who, again, is 19, and he's 32. And I think that's a lot of the reason their relationship fell apart. Charles also used to date Diana's sister, which just adds an extra layer of messy to everything.
A fairy tale born in hell.
She's the best girl.
The best girl for the worst job. The worst job is the worst job. The worst job in England.
Charles gives Diana a necklace and a ring. It's a phone call, and they chat about seeing Bach.
Bach.
This is when we learn Camilla is Charles's lover.
Not to mention, she's remarkably pretty.
And you know I've never cared about that. No, darling, I didn't
Someday
mean...
I'll forgive you for that remark. All right, forgiven.
I know I said it earlier. I don't feel like I really spoiled anything there. When the two talk about Diana, he says all this stuff about him finding her pretty and a good fit for the job, and then goes,
Do you know what she suggested we do this weekend? Go and see Dire Straits. I hadn't the foggiest idea what she was talking about. I'm merely pointing out that she has the musical tastes of a teenage girl.
It feels a little icky, and then Camilla talks about how the two of them will be able to control her, and that doesn't do them any favors.
She is a teenage girl, so she's malleable. You and I would have great influence over her.
Charles and Camilla are the closest thing this musical has to named antagonists. The press is also a bad guy, but the press isn't a person, it's a people. Despite that, the musical goes out of its way to make you feel sympathetic for Charles and Camilla, especially Camilla. So Charles and Diana go out to hear some Bach, and we see Diana and Camilla chat a bit before the performance.
So do try to be as clever as you can about it, all right? Charles likes clever girls.
Ladies.
I know that line doesn't seem important, but it is. A little bit. Not really. Just remember it, okay?
The Russian play is on and on, like an endless telethon. How I wish that he were Elton John.
Charles likes clever girls.
All right, I'm no intellect.
Who is she saying that to, and why is she saying that? I know why. It's to trigger the next verse of the song, but it doesn't make any sense. We get the song This Is How Your People Dance, and it becomes incredibly apparent that this musical was written by older people.
Then again, don't create a scene. You're auditioning to be his queen, and if Queen were playing now, Freddie Mercury would slay it. This is how your people, this is how your people dance.
Because this is exactly what an older person thinks a younger person would find very cool.
And then there's Charles, who's happy when he hears music by dead white men. Perhaps his girl could turn him into a rocker. This is how your people, this is how your people dance. Young and free, everything you wanna be.
Very epic, very poggers. Then everyone dances again. And Prince Charles definitely looks like he took dancing lessons from Brian David Gilbert.
She has you, she looks the part. To have such charm is quite an art. And all you have is the prince's heart.
This is the first of many times Camilla will sing. And every time it happens, I go, why is Camilla singing right now? They want me to care so bad, and I just don't. I think the actress does a good job, but I don't give a shit about Camilla Parker Bowles. The next song is Snap Click, and if it feels like I'm only talking about the songs and not the scenes in between the songs, it's because there aren't really scenes in between the songs.
She is what the people want.
Excuse me.
There are these like little skits if they need to set up context for the next thing that's about to be sung. Most of them are just Charles and Diana fighting. In Snap Click, the ensemble is in their third or fourth costumes, and we're like 15 minutes in. We also get our first shot that's not from the audience's point of view, and it's jarring. The song's catchy though.
Snap, click, have a blast. God only knows how long you will last. Snap, click.
Here we get a skit so the Queen can sing about her proposal and Charles can do a proposal of his own. We also get to meet the other character the actress who plays the Queen plays, Barbara Cartland.
Darling Diana! Barbara Cartland, oh, just look at you.
I know, I'm delicious. Men are liars and dire cheaters. Passion expires and true love teeters. So don't be blinded by good looks. And most of all, read other books.
She's a romance novelist. Charles proposes to Diana. She obviously says yes. And then, as in all things, we must hear how Camilla feels about it.
Say the word and I'll stop it now.
We found one young and pure. Somehow you will endure. When you get bored, just come on by.
Camilla and Charles are terrible for each other in all the right ways. Now we're on to the wedding of Charles and Diana. Diana walks down the aisle. Charles meets his bride. Diana enters stage left? What? But she's in the dress. Diana's feeling a little insecure about her and Charles, and the dress isn't quite right, and she's just feeling generally overwhelmed right now, and all of this leads her to sing a song of encouragement to herself.
I will make him love me. I will prove that I can.
You know, love. When you're forced into a pseudo-romance to uphold centuries-old tradition and you try and coerce the other person into feeling something positive about you. That old thing. And then she steps into the dress, but there was someone in the dress, so how could she say it's magic? Do you take this man to be your husband, to live together in matrimony, to love him, to honor him, to comfort him, and to keep him in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, for as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Okay, when? I'm looking for something a little more immediate, something more present tense, something a little more... Okay, I know I did not say you may kiss the bride. The first person we hear from after the wedding? Surprisingly, it's not Camilla. It's Camilla's husband, of course.
Thought you were a far more beautiful bride.
And now you've gone completely mad.
On the contrary. We will always have each other.
Someone who we know ostensibly exists. He's been having affairs of his own while Camilla's off with Charles, but he actually kind of wants to make their marriage work. Diana finally gets to get out of the castle and is leaving to see the rest of the UK.
Are you certain I'm ready, Mummy?
Now it's all set. We shall present you in Wales.
But what exactly will be expected of me?
There's no need to worry, darling. All you have to do is follow by my side.
But I feel as if I received more training when I was a preschool helper.
No training in the world can prepare you for what's in store.
And that's why we're not gonna train you at all. Diana makes her first trip out of the country as the newly crowned princess, and she actually talks to people and shakes their hands. This makes everyone there fall in love with how personable she is and absolutely befuddles Charles.
And just like that, they fell in love. All of Wales
simply fascinated with her because she's new. Not to mention, she's a pretty young girl with the hair and the clothes, and you're
I'm what?
a man in a suit. A very handsome man in a suit, but nevertheless.
Oh, so I should simply hover nearby and hold her handbag?
This happens a lot in the show where Diana does a very human thing, like going out and talking to people, or shaking hands, or wanting to be charitable. And every single time, whatever member of the royal family she's talking to goes, "What? Are you dumb? Are you daft? Why would we be nice? That's not what being a royal is all about." Diana tells Charles she's having a baby.
What is it, Diana?
A baby, Charles.
What?
I'm going to have your baby, Charles.
A baby?
Yes.
And Charles tells Diana things are over with Camilla.
Mrs. Parker Bowles, whatever we had, I've ended it. A baby!
Oh, God.
Great news for everybody. Want to see Diana's entire pregnancy?
William, my dear little prize.
Then she sings about her born child.
Darling, I'm holding our son. So let me say, jolly well done.
If one day I'm a dad and my partner gives birth and I'm holding our baby and I look over at her and I go, jolly well done. I should be jolly well done being on this fucking planet. I should be straight up executed. And then they fight because Charles is still in love with Camilla, and Charles tries some of the boldest gaslighting I've ever seen.
I will always love you. You still haunt my dreams, and we will be there for each other. Always be there for each other.
Is that...
It was simply a phone conversation, that is all.
You're still in love with her, aren't you?
No, I am not.
But you
No,
just...
you misunderstood, that is all.
You just said you were in love
I
with
said
her!
nothing of the kind. Now, if you don't mind, I'd rather not have this conversation again and again.
Ha! I'd rather you guys not have this conversation again and again too. So maybe take some of them out of the script. We're gonna breeze right past Diana's depression and self-harm, and hey look, she had another baby. How adorable.
Seems you've ignored my request for a girl.
So now our own son isn't good enough for you.
Christ, Diana, don't overreact to a joke.
It's not even a good joke, because she's got only X chromosomes. He's got X's and Y's. If you want a girl, you gotta shoot better, Chuck.
Christ, Diana, don't overreact to a joke.
You haven't made a joke since I met you.
Why must every conversation we have now turn into a bloody argument?
She's still in our marriage. She will always be in our marriage.
Is it your intention to drive me back to her?
The two of them argue about Camilla some more. God, I wish we could stop having this conversation over and over again. And then they reference the nice guys.
It hurts to be alive. Wounds heal.
It's worth it. As long as you get the results.
That's a lot of blood. That's a lot of blood.
An actually good movie.
What we need to do is come together and get you well and somehow make this marriage work.
We need to make this marriage work? We? That's the pronoun you're gonna use? Alright. Babe, we need to come together and find a way for me to stop being in love with somebody else. Diana tells Charles that she wants to be more charitable and that doing so will give her a newfound purpose now that she has provided 2 heirs for the British throne.
A monarch must give, but not too much. There's danger when one shares one's access, one's comfort, and one's touch.
How is this not a comedy? That's so funny. A song where every single other noble sings about how Diana will show empathy and it blows their minds, they don't get how she does it, is conceptually hilarious. They see her be nice and then they go, why does everyone like her more than they like me? And it's not played for laughs. And then she dances at the Royal Ballet, which if you're gonna dance at any ballet, the Royal Ballet is the one to do it at. This pisses the prince off so much that he sings a song called The Rage.
I'm through with giving you one more chance. If my heart has to rage, Diana.
If? What do you mean, if? So Charles gets all up in a huff and storms off because Diana danced on a stage. Diana sings about still being in love with Charles despite all of his faults, namely him not being in love with her and being in love with someone else.
I'll say it every way I know. It's always been true.
So in Spanish, and that's it. Oh, I guess French one time.
Wasn't I the most beautiful bride? A glittering jewel right by his side. Serves me right for marrying a Scorpio.
That's so funny and so wildly out of place in this song. Diana does not use humor to cope. At least in this musical, she doesn't. When he storms away, who's Charles going to see? Oh, it's Camilla, duh.
I'm sorry to come at this hour, it's all right. But the worse things get with Diana, the more I miss you. Every day, more and more I miss you. I can hardly bear it anymore.
Don't you think I feel the same? All these months apart. I miss you most on Sundays.
Why does Camilla get a song? Why does she get a song in this particular moment? After a big fight between Charles and Diana, where Charles blows up at Diana for violating his idea of what a princess should be, parentheses, subservient to him and the monarchy and all that she does, close parentheses, and Diana lets him know that despite him being the way that he is, she's still in love with him. You know who I really want to hear from in this moment? Camilla!
An idle day when little gets done.
Oh, it's an idle day? Yeah, try telling that to Tom Brady.
But how could we possibly? If I am to be king, divorce is out of the question.
We have friends, dear friends, who are sickened of this continuing charade. They'll lend us their flats. Hell, they'll lend us their castles.
I bet Jeffrey would lend us his island. This would probably be the most kosher thing that's ever happened there. And then we get the closing number of Act 1 with some stunning costume changes, and Diana decides from here on out, she's doing it her way.
A pretty, pretty girl wears a pretty, pretty dress. The press has always used her, so now she'll use the press.
So she does that. She wears a pretty, pretty dress, and the press takes pictures of her, and this upsets Charles because what doesn't?
Too much noise, too much distraction. How on earth did she gain such traction?
Take a stand, go out and lecture on painting or politics.
Let me think. I need to get the general public back on my side. Let me give a lecture about some topic that only a small subsection of the population actually is going to care deeply about.
Architecture. Modern buildings rarely are quite ghastly, you know.
Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8.
A pretty, pretty girl grows more famous than before when she decides to wear
Her clothes, her terms, her way, strong finish.
in a dress.
The movie doesn't include one, but I'm going to put an intermission here. So do whatever you got to do. Get up, stretch, walk around, get some water, go to the bathroom if you got to. I'll wait. Here at Intermission, I want to revisit one of the songs that we've already seen, The Rage. But I really want to explore every aspect of that tune. So in theater school, one of the more common techniques you will learn in order to better connect with a piece is monologuing a song. It's pretty self-explanatory. Instead of singing the song, you just speak the lyrics as though they were a monologue. You do this for a multitude of reasons. It breaks you out of the normal rhythm that you sing the song with, and you can just kind of feel where things need to be emphasized and where things should be long and where things should be short, which you can't do as much in a song with a set melody. It gets you to focus more on playing your actions instead of just feeling the emotion that the song carries with it. And a lot of times it's kind of funny just because theater songs are written like in a specific way. It's not meant to be a thing that's spoken. And so changing that up makes it a little silly sometimes. I think the best example of this is any of the songs from Wicked, which is a fantastic musical, and all of the songs are incredibly well written. But when you just speak them, it sounds a little silly sometimes. He'll say to me, "I see who you truly are. A girl on whom I can rely, and that's how we'll begin. The wizard and I, held in such high esteem, when people see me, they'll scream for half of Oz's greatest team, the wizard and I." But I want to do that with this song, The Rage, just to see what it would be like if this was a regular conversation between Charles and Diana and not a sung conversation. I'm not DLP. I apologize. I'm not even off book. I'm going to be looking into lyrics. You speak and you speak with the world at your feet as you soak in every last cheer. Stay still and listen to your husband for once, the man who put you here. You demean us all, Diana. Each time you cause a scene. Have you forgotten, Diana? You're in line to be queen. A gala affair, and look who's there. Diana. The cameras were, and hey, look, it's her. Diana. You only enter center stage. There's more to life than the fucking front page. Diana. This is the first time where in the movie they say a different word, but in the live show they say fuck. Because on stage you could say it as much as you want. It's great. I just want you to notice me how you notice Miss Parker Bowles. Why does she have that line of dialogue if the next thing I say has nothing to do with it? What's the... Like, I know Charles is not paying attention to Diana at all and doesn't really give a shit about her. But like, come on, he could have said something that made sense a little bit. I don't want to place I'm going to place Diana over there even though I just looked over here. There are centuries and centuries of protocol. The damage you've done by ignoring it all. Don't blame me for your antics. Don't blame me for this dance. I'm through with giving you one more chance. If my heart has strayed, Diana, if our marriage has come to a halt, you never once obeyed, Diana. God damn it, it is all your fault. How about for a start, don't act like a tart, Diana. Stop being a martyr. Why can't you be smarter, Diana? With all you do, how can I be proud of you? When any fool can see your life's greatest achievement, you married me. You married me. All you've ever done is marry me. You married me. You married. All you've ever done is marry me. Act 2 begins with one of my favorite songs in the show. I know, it's a controversial opinion, but the song is objectively phenomenal.
Here comes James Hewitt.
James Hewitt.
Ladies.
James Hewitt.
Other ladies.
It is also very dumb. We are introduced to James Hewitt, the military man who Diana will end up having an affair of her own with. Tonally, does it make sense with the rest of the show?
I can take you for a ride. All your troubles cast aside. You dismount, satisfied.
Here comes.
Absolutely not. It is so out of place and irreverent in a show that desperately wants not to step on anyone's toes. Regardless, it is perfect. You want to introduce a character who is raw himbo, this is how you do it.
James Hewitt, Your Royal Highness.
Officer Hewitt, I hear you offer lessons.
There's only one type of lesson I offer. Riding lessons.
James Hewitt.
Digital Zoom? What is this, a YouTube video where I'm emphasizing a punchline? The next song is a great opportunity they don't really do anything with. It's called Him and Her, and him and her, and it's Diana and James and Camilla and Charles, and they're both singing to each other, and it feels like a great opportunity for a comedy song where people are finishing each other's sentences, like that one scene in Angels in America, or that one line in Frozen, but they don't do that.
You're overdue for a man loving you. Trust me, I'm one of the good guys.
I feel like we're at a point culturally where if a man says, I'm a good guy, he cannot be a good guy. I'm expecting James to betray Diana now, like some sort of Chekhov's nice guy, but it never happens.
Look at me here watching them glow.
I sometimes think she's an angel.
Just another mistress stuck at home.
I wonder if she's thinking of me. Yeah.
See, this is what I want. More just kind of stupid lines like that.
Harry's a funny one, as goofy as they come.
Little old me. Stop. I'm blushing now. Somehow Diana didn't know that Charles and Camilla were seeing each other again, so she heads over to the party where the two of them are schmoozing with all their other rich friends.
I swallow my pride to have a seat ringside, wanna be ringside.
Here we go, a chance to chat.
You and me, how about that?
It's like a boxing match. Get it?
Tell me then, will this take long?
I'll be brief. I want you gone. Oh, you're completely mad. Such delusion and confusion, how bloody sad.
You're a fool!
You're a fling, you're a thing on the side. Well, I'm a celebrated bride.
This scene would hold a lot more weight if Diana wasn't literally just talking to her sister about the man she's cheating on her husband with, who she wants to be the father to her children.
Will Captain Hewitt be joining us?
In Kensington Palace, are you mad?
Well, I'd just like to meet him before you two ride off into the sunset.
Oh, he would make a wonderful father. He truly would. I've suffered through divorce. I know how it destroys. I've had it done to me. I won't do it to my boys.
You really should. Divorces are good, actually.
Did seem like a lovely party.
I know about the stable boy.
From Star Wars?
For the record, he's not a stable boy.
He's more of an idea. He's not meant to be a character seen later on in the saga. Charles echoes my point that they should get a divorce.
I will end it with him if you end it with her.
When will you come to your senses and stop trying to make this marriage work? Thanks to him, your good is gone. Feel free to carry on. The fun you two will have. Enjoy your grand affair. I could not care. Go ahead and call him night and day.
But then he starts reprimanding her.
The center shakes, the contract breaks, a selfish child at play. An army bloke, your dirty joke. Go ahead and love him, whatever love means. Anyway.
Charles, Chucky, baby. Shut the fuck up. You've been cheating on Diana since the two of you became an item in the first place. You don't get to be upset here. Diana tells Hewitt they have the all clear to be together, and Hewitt tells Diana he has been stationed in Germany, possibly at the behest of Charles.
No, I'm sorry, you simply can't go, you can't.
Germany isn't far. I'll come back as often as I can.
So I'm a dumb American, and I didn't really have context for the distance between England and Germany. Like, I know you gotta cross some water to get there, and a couple of countries, but I didn't really know. So I looked up the distance from London to Berlin, and it's closer than New York City and Atlanta are. So yeah, Germany isn't far. He's 100% right here.
So then let's tell our story before they do. I'm ready to tell the world.
And do you know what they'll call me? The randy stable boy, the plaything of the princess. You know, sometimes I think it's impossible for any man to be with you. I'm sorry.
If you leave, you and I are no more.
Did you just give me an ultimatum?
No, it's not an old tomato. It's an old bell pepper. I just want everyone to know that in my notes, that is written as, let's see if it'll focus on it, very bad old tomato joke. But I stand by it. So she can't be with James anymore because of circumstance. kinda stinky. Diana decides to go to the press and tell her side of her relationship with Charles in probably my second favorite song in the show.
Then the words came pouring out. Yes, the words came pouring out. Damn that first of winter burst when the words came pouring out.
It's catchy. It's got more great fits. Diana's suicide attempts are brushed over again really quick because they saw how much love Dear Evan Hansen got, and they just wanted to avoid that topic as much as possible. It's great.
All the drama she creates without our permission.
That is true. You need to ask permission to start a huge drama. Just ask any middle schooler. This scene between Charles and the Queen really exemplifies one of the issues that exists solely in the movie and not in the live performance. Have you seen those videos where they'll take a sitcom like The Big Bang Theory and they'll take out the laugh track and it all just sounds kind of weird?
Can you believe it? In the past decade, I have spent thousands of dollars in that store, and this is the thanks I get.
You're right. I mean, he could at least get you a mug.
He gave me a mug. What do you think I'm drinking out of? Do you even pay attention?
Honestly, less and less.
There are parts of this show that kind of feel like that. It's not as egregious, but it's a similar vibe.
She understands next to nothing.
Doesn't she? She's portraying herself as a woman cruelly betrayed by her unaffectionate husband. Half the women in England can relate to that scenario. Now, how much of the book is true?
And how am I supposed to answer that?
For a refreshing change, let's try honestly.
Well, I've only seen excerpts in the paper.
I don't care if she's Joan of Arc.
You would simply spend some time with her.
Absolutely not. If I was interested in this type of sordid drama, I'd turn on Coronation Street. Now get on with it, Charles, and mend your marriage for your children and for your country, and maybe even for your mother.
And if I simply can't?
And when there's a live audience, the laughs are there because the audience is there to deliver the laughter. But in this, they still leave that space as if they're expecting it, and the laughs don't come. There's no one in the theater. Charles and Camilla are finally sewing in the fallout of the book where Diana told everyone all about the royal family's reaping.
Well, there is one thing I've been considering, but it's rather drastic.
At this juncture, we could use a bit of drastic.
What if
I kill her? And we make it look like a car crash.
Well, what if I went on television and owned up to the truth? What do you think?
The truth revealed will bask in praise.
Camilla! I don't care! I guess it's established that even if Camilla divorced her husband, she still couldn't get with Charles because he'd have to make his divorce and she's tainted. It's a whole scandal. But I still don't care about her. Now it's the best song in the show, and they have to censor like half the lyrics because they wanted a PG-13 rating.
What better way to impress than to show a flash of flesh? So how about this fecky dress? This feckity dress?
In the show, it is actually a fuck you dress.
When a girl needs to express her proper state of distress, revenge looks best in an FU dress. A feckity dress.
Censoring it makes the Queen's joke not as much fun.
Her Majesty is in distress. This travesty she must address. A princess in a dress. Dress.
Because she's not saying it, but also no one else is saying it, so what's really the difference there? But when everyone is saying fuck you dress, then she gets a laugh. Following the live taping, the role of Paul went to Anthony Murphy, who I'm a little sad isn't on the pro shot, because he was phenomenal when I saw him in it.
Girlfriend in a feck you dress.
Girlfriend in a fuck you dress? They're married. They've been married for like a couple of years at this point, guys. Come on.
Fuck you dress.
This is the second to last song in the show. I'm genuinely shocked Camilla's not singing here. It's the Queen telling Diana, hey, we're not so different after all.
I realize I must have disappointed you.
No argument there.
Then again, you never really understood me.
That is not true.
I'm afraid it is.
You never listen, Diana. In fact, at this moment, I understand you more than ever. At night she would sleep so soundly in the arms of her sailor prince. He loved her so profoundly. They haven't felt such happiness since she and her prince.
But then the king died! This line is the perfect embodiment of the songwriting for this show. It is blunt. There is no subtext. The only thing it doesn't have is a quick, painful rhyming couplet. That happens so much in this show. Here are some of my favorite rhymes in the show. Alright, I'm no intellect, but maybe there's a discotheque where the prince could hear some Prince and we'd all get funkadelic. Then again, don't create a scene. You're auditioning to be his queen, and if Queen were playing now, Freddie Mercury would slay it. Do slay it and funkadelic rhyme? Not really. I will represent the crown. No time now to let down. A bad time to let down. I will. What? Came out here to bitch and gripe. Hey, me too, guys. Guarantee she ain't my type. Ain't no way she'll match the hype. I don't know. She seems real nice. Wanna bet she's cold as ice? Let's go home. That's good advice. Is that advice? I feel like advice has to be a little more whimsical. This one's one that Camilla gets to sing. Another night, another bore. Alright, fine. I don't mind at all. But she's British, so it's another night, another bore. Alright, fine, I don't mind at all. Still doesn't really rhyme.
Now she sometimes reflects on her unusual life.
Bullshit. That is bullshit. The Queen of England has never reflected on her actions even one time in her life. Diana is free of the marriage and the monarchy, and she gets to take us to the end.
If I can carry on, stay calm and simply breathe.
Those are bold things to make a woman who's about to die in a car crash say. And it's not like you don't know what's coming. You know she's going to die in a car crash.
All I shall do again, stand in a queue again. Here's to not making news. A mother full of pride, her prince is by her side. Her life, finally hers to choose. I'll have another child, an answer to my prayer. Perhaps a baby girl, or better yet, a pair.
Giving Diana a song about all of the wonderful and exciting things she's going to get to do that you know she's never going to get to do, kind of a dick move.
We can now confirm that Princess Diana has died.
I mean, it was either that or... But then the princess died! So Diana walks upstage, presumably into heaven, and everyone watches her go, and then we get the final moment of the film. A very powerful statement that is a thesis of everything we've seen up to this point.
The people who will change the world
are not the ones you think will change the world.
I blame Hamilton for that ending. I 1,000,000,000% blame Hamilton for that stupid ending. Lin-Manuel Miranda has blood on his hands. People want to replicate his shows, but they do it in superficial ways like this. And that's Diana, the musical, formerly on Broadway. I think the biggest issue with Diana the musical is it isn't quite sure what it wants to say. Obviously, they want the message to be the people who will change the world are not the ones you think will change the world. But Diana wasn't a nobody before she met Charles. She was born into British nobility. That's the whole reason she was seen as an eligible suitor. There's a lot you could talk about in a piece about Diana, whether it's the way the media portrays people and how celebrities both use and are used by it, or the nature of power and how different people tend to wield it. Or you could satirize how over-serious the monarchy has to take this very, very silly job that they have. And I think that this show has glimmers of that last one. Look at the introduction of James Hewitt. Look at the fuck you dress. You would get to keep a lot of those fun pop theater songs if you were going in a more comedic, satiric direction. I was texting my mom about it, and she was saying that the Queen / Barbara Cartland could have been played by a drag queen. And yes, that is brilliant and adds so much fun to this show. You make Charles more of an exaggerated bad guy. You focus on how the monarchy literally cannot comprehend that other people have feelings too. And you cut Camilla's songs. We don't want to feel sorry for her. She's the bad guy. I want the camp version of this show is what I'm getting at. The show that we got ends up just telling the footnotes of the Wikipedia page about Diana while trying as hard as it can to not offend any of the people in it who are still alive. And in doing so, everything just kind of feels lukewarm at best. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, and you wouldn't mind leaving a like or subscribing, I would really appreciate that. I talked about this a couple of videos ago, but I've got a podcast with my friend Eli now where we talk about news and pop culture and entertainment. It's a whole new idea. No one's ever done anything like it before. It's called Big Cat Comedy, wherever you listen to podcasts. I'll put some links in the descriptions. I would really appreciate it if you checked that out too, if you're interested. Only if you're interested. Again, thank you so much for watching this very long video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Whatever love means, anyway, serves me right for marrying a Scorpio. I will make him love. Te amo, te quiero. I'll say it every way I know, the best that I can do. I'll say it every way I know.